Hello guys and welcome back to a new video. We had two straight profitable days on the show and we are looking for third one in a row to make a streak. We have 5 game slate tonight and last night we went 2-1, had 2 winners and 1 loser, and we are up to 24 units of profit on the show with great ROI at 10%. And guys, we also hit 1000 subscribers on the show in less than 2 months. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. Smash that like button. There are still like 35 to 40% of you watching not subscribed, so make sure to subscribe to not miss out future videos. And let's now dive into today's slate. First game on the board, big East game. We have Pistons and Cleveland Cavaliers. In my opinion, two best teams on the East, teams that could play in the finals, but no Donovan Mitchell for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and James Harden is questionable for this one, so it's kind of a weird game. But we can see that Pistons are 6 points favorites, so it's still projected to be a close game. For this one, straight away going to Jalen Duren under 18.5 points. My first official bet. Jalen Duren pretty much widely available at -121. Caesars Williams Hill. The score Bet Rivers -125, even up to -130. Really good. So first official bet while available, Jalen Duren under 18.5 points. And I know this one looks very weird. If you take a look at the last 10 games when he doesn't get injury, we can see that he covered this in like 7 straight games, 18 plus in 9 out of the last 10. So yeah, but look at this. Game against OKC, best defense in the league, he cooks with 29. No Isaiah Hartenstein, no Chet Holmgren, no Shea, no J-Dub. Their defense wasn't there. He was playing against really smaller guys. Then game against the Spurs, we can see that in that game he ended up hitting 7 offensive rebounds. He had like 5 putbacks on Wemby. Wemby didn't do really well against him. And also Wemby went outside to double Kate Cunningham, so Jalen Duren had it easy. Bulls easy matchup, Denver easy matchup, Nets easy matchup. Kind of easy matchup against the Warriors, who missed a ton of their players. Then Suns, okay, he was hella efficient there. So yeah, been really on a great run, so that's why we have this increased line. But let's take a look on the entire season. When he gets between, so last couple of games he played in close games, 29, 29, 31. When he gets between 24 to 34 minutes on the season, even if he increases it, like that, let's do 26. Let's do 26 to 34, which is where I can see him. That's average of 30 minutes. He's averaging 19.7 points a game, but some of these games were without Cade, and then it drops to 19.3 points average. But looking at the matchup, he scores 96% of his points from 10 feet or less from the rim, and Cleveland Cavaliers are 6th best there. Also look at points in the paint, they're 5th best there. If you take a look at the last, like let's say 15 games, 2nd best paint defense, 5th best under 10 feet. If you look at last 10, similar stuff. Last 5, they are number 1 in less than 10 feet and paint points. So they've been really playing well. Some of these fluctuating came and Mobley was out due to the injury, but with Mobley, Allen in the lineup, they are absolutely insane paint defense, great paint defense, and that makes it this a rough matchup for Jalen Duren. Also, if you take a look at defense against position, they are at 8th best. So just looking at the graph, we can see a high correlation with his great performances when he is playing poor defenses to his position. When he's playing bottom teams in the league against his position, we can see 23.4 points average. When we exclude those, we can see that he's averaging 17 points. If you go to like 3rd to 14 above average in defense against his position, we can see that he is at 17 points average and only 5 games where he covered. And the game that he covered against OKC, I wouldn't call that great defense against position because no Hartenstein, no Chet Holmgren, they were horrible inside. So also additionally, we can add a layer for like excluding bottom 10 rim paint defenses, and we can see that then he covered this in only 4 games, averaging less than 17 points a game, and now gets a horrible matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who we can see that like on the graph, like their defense, they allow ton of mid range and they allow ton of corners. He doesn't score for either of those areas. They collapse on the pick and rolls. They play pretty high on the ball handler, but then they help on the roll man from the corners. So leaving out corners and letting guys shoot from mid range, protecting the paint. So that's a great stuff for betting Jalen Duren under. Additional thing on this one is head to head. They played earlier this season only 21 minutes for Jalen Duren because it was a huge blowout, but he only had 8 points. So if he's getting 30 minutes tonight, I doubt he scores like more than double. That's so yeah. First official bet, Jalen Duren under 18.5 points. And that was the first game on the board. Moving up to the second game on the board, Nets against the Celtics. We could be in an interesting spot because everyone expects Michael Porter Jr. to be out. I don't know if he's out or not, but key thing, last back-to-back game he played against the OKC and got 38 minutes in that game. Now similar scenario, blown out by Spurs and back-to-back game. I don't know if he's playing or not because when he played against OKC, he only played 21 minutes on the day before against the Cleveland Cavaliers in a huge blowout, and then decided to play big minutes against OKC. So maybe he can actually play tonight. If it was a couple of weeks ago, he didn't play any back-to-back, and he played the last back-to-back. So be cautious on Michael Porter Jr. I definitely think this is like 50-50 spot. Maybe even bigger chance that he plays than not. But for me, I think Nolan Traore is still looking like great. We can take a look at like last 9 games, last 9 games for Nolan Traore. We can see that he's averaging 14 points a game. Covered this in 7 out of 9 games. Covered against the Spurs, great defense. Covered against OKC, great defense. Covered against Orlando, decent defense. And then covered against 4 defense Wizards, Bulls, Pacers, and Hawks. So all around, like covered in some tough matchups, covered in some easy matchups, but the average is at 14 points a game. The usage went up by 6% compared to the previous part of the season, so there is that. Also, his season high came against, career high actually, came against the Boston Celtics. First game of the season he didn't play. He was like a young rookie, not in the rotation, but last game, not that long ago, like a month ago, he scored 21 points against the Boston Celtics in an overtime loss. His line closed at 5.5. He ended up playing 37 minutes and cooking against the Celtics. Also, looking at the matchup, most of his points from spot up and pick and roll ball handler. Boston Celtics usually a great defense, but only average against spot up, catch and shoot, and pick and roll ball handlers. Even though if you take a look at the last 15 games, then they are 4th best against catch and shoot, but they are then allowing more pull-up points. Great defense from of the paint, but as I said, he cooked them, and lately some guys are doing well against the Boston Celtics, like guards that are not like first scoring options. So definitely lean over on Nolan Traore, but I don't know. With Michael Porter Jr., I think 10.5 could be fair. If Michael Porter Jr. is out, then this becomes like a 12.5 line, I think. So, yeah, the lean on Nolan Traore, not much on everything else. As we can see, the spread for this is 17.5. Also worth noting, last game against the Spurs, it was a blowout and Nolan didn't close the game. Usually in a blowout he plays no matter what, but the thing is, it was a back-to-back, so maybe he got rested because he's playing today. So yeah, could be that. So maybe he does play in blowouts moving forward. Next game on the board, Knicks against the Bucks. We are going to have official bet here, and we are going to Kevin Porter Jr. points, rebounds, and assists. And we can see over the last 10, he cooked this line in 8 out of 10, averaging 34 points, rebounds, and assists. So, second official bet today, Kevin Porter Jr. over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists, widely available at minus 118 to up to minus 122. So, this is like textbook widely available line. Kevin Porter Jr. over points, rebounds, and assists. looking at the entire season when he doesn't get injured, we can see like games when he plays like 28 plus minutes, he's averaging 33 points, rebounds, and assists, and covered this in 19 out of 29. But looking at the injury report, no Giannis Antetokounmpo. Without Giannis Antetokounmpo, we can see with him 30 points, rebounds, and assists average. Without Giannis, 35 points, rebounds, and assist average, and 82% win rate. Need to include Rollins in the lineup. With Rollins, it goes up to 36 points, rebounds, and assist average, covering this in 13 out of 15 games. And the game that he didn't cover, I remember against the Nets, I bet him under in this game because this was like one of the most difficult matchups for him. He scores most of his points, 35% of his points, 1/3 of his total points in pick and roll, ball handler, and you can see that's the weakest part of the Knicks defense. So when we exclude the best team against pick and roll ball handler, which is Brooklyn Nets, we exclude that one game, we can see that his win hit rate and average goes up to 13 out of 40, 93% win rate, and 37 points, rebounds, and assist average. And he is now playing in, as I said, above average matchup because they allow ton of to pick and roll ball handlers and average free throws. So that's 50% of his points are coming from those two. So yeah, second official bet, Kevin Porter Jr. Good thing is Bucks play at home, so smaller chance of a blowout. The spread is 8.5, so there's always a blowout possibility. But they are playing at home, and they usually play better at home. And especially Knicks, they play much worse on away games than at home. But we can see they just win against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They just won against Miami Heat. So kind of playing well recently. So yeah, we can see they got blown out in only one out of like 7 games, and that came against Toronto Raptors, and he still ended up covering. In a huge 30 points blowout, he played 31 minutes. If that's the floor and the ceiling is like last game 38 minutes, if he's going to play 30 to 40 minutes, yeah, I definitely like this spot because, as I said, he's averaging more than 1 points, rebounds, and assists per minute. 37 points, rebounds, and assists in 35 minutes. So second official bet, Kevin Porter Jr. over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Guys, I know you kind of have problems when I share the video and like 30 minutes later all lines are gone, lines move, yeah. But I would say this happened to me as well. Like I went to research, wrote down the bets, and then when I came back to bet them, to share them with my guys that bet for me, 3 out of 5 moves. I'll share 2 that moved. So I wanted to bet from Grizzlies against the Mavs. I wanted to bet Scottie Pippen over 4.5 assists, but the line moved on me from -110 to -138. So in -138 range, there is no value because it moves so much. So yeah, you can see that like the best price is -134. I liked it at -110 to -115. This is too much. Don't bet this. But I'm just saying, like, it even happens without me sharing. Lines move because I got ahead of them. Lines move because I find great spots, and some other good bettors will find them eventually and move them. So yeah, it's moving. The lines are moving on sharp action. It's not like Sportsbook decided to move the line themselves. No, they are moving because they are getting bets. They are getting lines smashed on their screen. So yeah, for example, this one bet I lost. Second one that I wanted to bet was on Tyler Hendricks. I wanted to bet over 14.5 points and rebounds. I think it was -110 or -114. Right before I wanted to bet, it moved to 15.5. At 15.5, I think it's kind of decent, but not great. At 14.5, I thought that was like off by 1. Take a look with games with Memphis lately. He's been getting like more minutes, 28 minutes last game. So if you take a look at the games when he gets like 22 plus minutes, we can see that he's averaging 15 points and rebounds a game. And the matchup is absolutely amazing tonight against the poor defense and poor rebounding team of the Dallas. And also like 15 against the Kings if it were 14.5. It does look much better than at 15.5. Same similar thing with Scottie Pippen. Like I liked it at on the season so far. He's averaging 5.2 assists over 4.5 against the matchup against the team that's allowed ton of assists. Looks great. Also, most of his assists come inside. They allow ton of inside, but too juiced for me now. I usually do bet juice lines, but if I had it at like minus 110, minus 115 as a value spot, minus 140, definitely not something I want to bet. Also, uh, Ty Jerome doubtful here. Without Ty Jerome, he covered in both games against Portland, 12 potential assists. Against Kings, 9 potential assists. So over these two games, he's averaging 10.5 potential assists, which is great for 4.5 assist line. So yeah, lines move on me as well. So yeah, can't do much. Sometimes the lines move. I record the video, and in the meantime, as I was recording, up until I edit it and share it, upload it, uploading takes a ton of time sometimes. And in those 30 minutes, lines can move even without me sharing. So it's not only me sharing moving lines, but I win at sports betting, and most of my bets will end up having closing line, will move because I get the best lines most of the time. Moving on to the next game on the board, it's Nuggets against the Thunder, and I'll have third official bet in this one. And also, before I move to the next bet, I'll need to cover something here, and it's Tyler Zero. As you can see, when we type in zero, it recognizes that's Tyler Hero, actually Tyler Zero. Last game, I said great spot to bet his over against the 76ers, but it's Tyler Zero, so we couldn't bet it because he always fucked us. And last night he won, so I hope someone got this one and someone went 3-1 instead 2-1. So yeah, Tyler Zero kind of turning into a hero. So, but we'll need to give him a bigger sample size before we move back to betting on him. And let's now dive into the last game on the slate: Nuggets against the Thunder. Two best, or like 2 out of 3 best teams on the West so far. We have Shea back for Thunder. Guys, be cautious about this one. If you take a look on the season, this looks like a smart spot, but be cautious because I think he gets the most 32 minutes. Like that's the most he can get here because like he's coming back from the injury, he'll be heavily limited. But even if you look at the games when he gets like 24 to like the lowest he had is 28, so it's like 28. The lowest he had the entire season was this game against the Suns where he got 27, so he never played less than 27. But I can see him playing 28 to 30 minutes tonight, and it does look great this season when he gets this kind of minutes because he's always trying to get that 30 points game because he has some streak. Like he always wants to get 30 points. He's counting his 30 points game. It's something weird, but we can look at he already played in February. This month he already played against the Denver, scored 34 points in 33 minutes. But we don't know, like he is absolutely insane in efficiency, but we don't know how he's gonna look in the first game back. Could be rusty and limited minutes, so definitely be cautious about Shea. Interesting one is assists. I think this drops to 5.5 when they release like the minutes restriction or something, and then this could be a good spot because last game against the Denver he had 21 potential assists in 33 minutes. Absolutely insane potential assist numbers, and also game without J Dub and Mitchell, both are out tonight, so similar type of a lineup and a matchup. So that's definitely something to look for. Currently at plus money 118, but I think when they release like limited minutes, the line could drop to 5.5, and then I will smash this one definitely because Denver will double the shit out of him. They will they'll throw a kitchen sink on Shea because now no J Dub, no J Mitchell. I don't think they respect Chet Holmgren shooting or like Cason Wallace shooting or Lugan or Dort shooting. So definitely could see, as you can see, last time they played 21 potential assists, which means they were just doubling him a lot. And he's still covered in points, which is crazy. That Shea thing, that's why he is the front runner for MVP if he gets enough games. But I would say be cautious about limited minutes. But the thing I like in this one is Cason Wallace over on points. Guys, this dude, okay, like they dropped his line to 8.5. Even though he scored 20, 27, and 23 points over the last 3 games. And now Shea is back. So I don't know what they are thinking. They're thinking like, okay, I was scoring 20 points a game, and now when Shea returns, I'll be like, I'll go back to the corner and be a 7 points per game guy. I honestly don't think so. And also, last game against the Denver Nuggets, with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander playing. Shea played in this game and he scored season high 27 points. I think it's actually a career high. So last time with Shea, he scores 27 points against Denver. And now he is in a great form, averaging 12.5 points over the last, I don't know how many, 17 games. And if you take a look at the last 3 games, he scored 20 plus in 3 straight games against Cleveland Cavaliers, above average defense, Raptors, top 5 defense, Pistons, third best defense or second best defense. Like he cooked great teams and averaging 23 points over the last 3 games. Now gets Shea back, and they suddenly think that he's going to back to 7 points or 8 points a game, stashing in the corner guy. But as well, Shea back means more attention, more gravity towards Shea, more double teams on Shea, opening up the space for other guys. And last time they did it against the Denver Nuggets, he took advantage of it and ends up scoring 27 points. So, do I think he scores 27 points tonight? Definitely not. Do I think he gets 20 plus points tonight? Probably not. But do I think he gets double digits points? Definitely yes. So third official bet, Cason Wallace over 8.5 points. Minus 118, minus 112, minus 115. Pretty widely available. I would even play up to minus 130, but I really like minus 180 on FanDuel, widely available line. Shop around, you can find even better. So that's our third official bet. On the side of the Nuggets, I'll probably lean into betting under on Nikola Jokic because looking at the games against the OKC over the last 3 seasons, he's averaging 25.6 points against them. If you take a look at the closing lines, still under in 9 out of 15 games. So definitely something to look for. They double the shit out of him when he plays against them. Fronting and backing, they don't even allow him to get the ball. Looking at the assist, also under in like 10 straight games, maybe even 11. Oh, yeah, okay, it's 10 straight games under on the assist. Looking at the points, under in 9 out of 15. So they don't even allow him to touch the ball in those games. Let's take a look at the average passes made. I think maybe there could be something there. Over the last 10 games, he's averaging, but minutes are so big. So he's averaging 4 more minutes than his average. And if you take a look at his passes made per game, they are lower. Like they are 72. So 3 passes lower than average, so less passes. And even though he had more minutes, so it's actually much more lower rate of passes per minute. Actually, if you take a look at this season he had 52 passes made. And if you take a look at the entire season, when he gets those kinds of minutes, so when we exclude games when he gets like 26 or less, on the season he's averaging 72. So he had 52 and his season average is 72. So he had 20 less passes made, which means they are not letting him get the ball, which makes sense. If you watched any games, that's exactly what you can see. So maybe a spot where Jokic goes under rebound points and assists. Rebounds are always a great matchup against the OKC, so can't do much here. So that's a lean, but Jamal Murray is questionable, so yeah, he could be out. On the other side, I don't have anything. So yeah, guys, that's it. We have 3 official bets today on this smaller 5-game slate. Bigger slate tomorrow. So yeah, see ya then.